Hello, everyone. My apologies for not being with you in person due to logistical challenges and time constraints. I am so delighted to be part of a panel that is exploring the multi-dimension parameters of what is articulated and framed as inclusive science communication. Why do we need to interrogate such a term when on the face of it, it should be self-evident what this entails in terms of goodness for all, much like the proverbial motherhood and apple pie. The 2024 AAAS meeting theme, Towards Science Without Walls, in itself invites us to undertake discourses and contestations that take us beyond implied, assumed, and normalized notions of the scientific enterprise and its inclusive communication. This invitation is also a very timely one as it comes on the aftermath of a global pandemic that has shone a vivid and disquieting light on the inequalities of scientific endeavor, research, applications, and communication, with profound life and death implications on a global scale like never before. This theme further provokes us to consider the ideal scenarios in which the diverse activities undertaken in science and technology advancement should be enacted, and to contrast these with the challenging realities of our times. In this regard, when we examine the science communication arena, we similarly find that there is the ideal role that it should play and the contested role that we see in reality across both the global north and south regions of the world. In the ideal scenario, science communication should be the two-way bridge builder or level playing field broker between science and society engagements and discourses, offering the general public objective and globally inclusive scientific knowledge, creating an enabling environment that empowers them to fully critically engage with that knowledge, including bringing on board their diverse worldviews to interrogate and make sense of that knowledge for themselves so that they harness their indigenous knowledge and ways of understanding natural phenomena. In reality, we find, however, that science communication operates on the premises of the multi-level deficit models of elitism, paternalism, and patriarchy. We also find that science communication is a silo of overwhelmingly Eurocentric thoughts and ideas, hegemony, and worldviews, and struggles to break free of these shackles in order to fully embrace globally inclusive knowledge paradigms and diverse knowledge sharing practices that engender the onboarding of public trust in science and expertise across race, gender, geographical, and sociocultural divides. In seeking solutions to creating a framework for science communication without walls, we should then be mindful of the imperative to interrogate developments encapsulated in the landscape of contemporary inclusive science communication, as laudable and well intentioned as these might seem. This then leads to the question, how truly progressive, diverse, equitable, and inclusive is the current arena of so-called inclusive science communication? And how and by whom have its parameters been defined as inclusive? The recently published book volume, Race and Sociocultural Inclusion in Science Communication, Innovation, Decolonization, and Transformation, assembled 30 diverse practitioners, researchers, and academics from across the global South and North to undertake this very interrogative exercise within a globally representative collective and to present empowering ideas and transformative concepts about inclusive science communication from a globally wide-angled lens. This globally diverse group has delivered a profound indictment of the contemporary landscape of so-called inclusive science communication as one that is still steeped in and imbued with the very inequities, privileges, and blind spots that it claims to overturn, and is hampered in its transformative agenda by myriad fault lines, vested interests, hegemonies, and narrow perspectives. It is no wonder then that the recommendations, good practices, and reflections put forward in this book have been described as radical, paradigm shifting, challenging, business as usual shifting, and so on. How then can we break down walls of inequality, privilege, and hegemony in order to create a brave new world of radically inclusive science communication? We need to start by understanding the complex interconnectedness of our world, the global North and global South, and the historical and contemporary trajectories of the imbalances of socio-political, cultural power, influence, and dominance that continue to shift and change in flux and manifestations over time, and that the scientific enterprise and its inclusive communication are well situated within these contested and dynamic trajectories, and are also framed by its limitations and skewed agendas. This then implies a shared burden of responsibility that scientists and science communication practitioners in both the global North and South bear with regard to the challenges of delivering inclusive knowledge from and for all across these diverse regions of the world, and how, through mutual learning, equity, and decolonization approaches, they can work together to deliver a transformed, inclusive science communication landscape that is fit for purpose for the 21st century and beyond. One way forward, we suggest, lies in establishing new forms of cross-regional engagements, forums, as mechanisms of establishing and sustaining critical reconciliation, mediation, and recalibration contact zones for emancipatory interactions between science communication professionals across the global South-North divide, which in time and with increasing mutual learning, dialogue, and respectful listening can become cohesive engines for driving innovation, shared activism, and collective action in delivering radically inclusive science communication globally, leading to greater public trust in science. Thank you.